How do you feel about the Swifty Blue and like investigation? Would you consider him like no good or?
Yeah. See, I really, to be honest, yeah, cause and he got green light.
19 people are in prison because of Swifty Blue.
How do you feel about the Swifty Blue and like investigation situation?
I ain't really gonna speak up on that, but I heard some niggas that were from the hood had smashed them on the hood. Shit, but nigga, I ain't really gonna speak up on that too much. Shit. He's tapped in though, that nigga be tapped in.
So that's, you know, he said he ain't gonna speak too much, but he said he heard some homies from the hood had smashed him out. I think you already said too much. Unless now that's it, if some F-13s went down in the what you call it. I don't know, because I don't know. I'm not as knowledgeable on the Mexican side, so I don't know if some F-13s is currently a part of that indictment or what.
Would you consider him like no good or?
Yeah. See, I really, to be honest, yeah, cause
So they saying he no good.
Shit, but nigga, I ain't really gonna speak up on that too much. Shit. He's tapped in though, that nigga be tapped in.
Would you consider him like no good or?
Yeah. See, I really, to be honest, yeah, cause I heard that I heard supposedly people say he rolled it up, but he said he didn't roll it up. I don't know, but I heard he did get smashed out in county.
So they saying he no good. That's crazy. It's different conflicting reports, and we know that, you know, for the LA Times to write that article and the FBI to come with that indictment on Swifty, and you know, for him to not say nothing while he was going through all that, well, that's kind of crazy. But now, hey, these Southsiders are saying Foo no good. Foo is no good.
And he got green light. Feel me? That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, ain't no more to say.
Yeah, the rapper definitely is in hot water. Yeah, but it's not for what you guys think, you know? You guys hear.
So whatever he's saying is, whatever we think, whatever the narrative is, postulated and propagated online, is not the real reason why Swifty's in hot water. You know, and the way that black hand move, we not, of course, because Swifty is who he is, he has notoriety, clout, if you will, and he's been polarizing. You know, he's effectively used a lot of stunts and, you know, climbed the proverbial ladder of popularity. So we are invested in whatever's going on with Swifty. But that black hand, you know, is supposed to move with mystery. Mysterioso, if you will. We're not supposed to know what's going on, why this person is greenlit and that and this and that. We only supposed to be on the outside, scratching our head, speculating, coming with assumptions and theories. So we not really supposed to know.
You're all on the phone, you know, you see a green light and this, and then right away you start putting blame on this individual for having people in jail, for him being the one in jail when these conversations are happening in jail, right? So it just makes no sense. And right away you pin it to the one that makes the most noise. And what happens next is jealousy, right, amongst carnales. It's a shame, to be sincere, you know, when you have two pilis from the same town, instead of extending the hand to help the next man, they envy each other, they jealous each other, and they want to keep each other down, right? I want to be more powerful than you type of stuff. Or vice versa. I want to do things to tear you down. You know, when it comes to this rapper, you know, you hear a lot about, do they really have an option, right, when it comes to pain? And let me just say, hell yeah, they do. You know, you could be a Sureño from a neighborhood and go in and rap, but you rap, mind your business, and don't start putting out neighborhoods in your songs or things that's gonna take from what the Sureño causa is. You know, you go about your rapping, you won't ever have a problem. But you know, unfortunately, we come from that where we're integrated in us to be able to mean something, at least neighborhood wise, right? We have to be clicked up with these individuals, with the Pilis. So we start trying to earn our stripes, per se. In the sense of a rapper, it's, you know, he's going out of state tourism, so hey, do me a paro, could you go out there and hey, first take this message, hey, take this P, you know, this, make sure it gets there, pick up this feria. You know, you start doing little favors like that to get your name, per se, in the right ears, right? But
yeah, and I'm picking up what the homie here, what the essay homie is putting down. I'm picking up right what he's putting down. What Swifty did was he tried to start climbing the hierarchical ladder to a degree. Not how you typically would do it amongst the Southsiders, which is going up through them county jails, going to the penitentiaries, and pushing that iron. Through favors, through doing those favors to get in good graces. But what happens is it keeps your name ringing in circles in a real personal way, and attaches you in a way that you really don't want to be attached when you're truly trying to pursue a career as an entertainer, right? So watch this. This is in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. It's in that Catholic Bible. For all of my Catholics, it's not just in the Catholic Bible, but you know, knowing Mexicans are predominantly Catholic, like Haitians are. We got this book, right? So if we start at Sirach 13, watch this. Let's start at 8. Be on guard. Do not act too boldly. Do not be like those who lack sense. That's what Swifty did. He lacked sense. When the influential draw near, when that embrace is coming from those people amongst that ladder, active, working with that black hand, keep your distance. See, he wanted to feel that embrace, but he didn't count the cost of what come with that. Keep your distance. Then they will urge you all the more. They're going to want to embrace you. Do not draw too close, lest you be rebuffed. If you push yourself on him, he will put you in your place. On the other hand, if you keep your distance from him, he will forget about you, right? So it says, do not draw too close, lest you be rebuffed, but do not keep too far away, lest you be regarded as an enemy. So you don't want to be too far, but you don't want to get too close and too comfortable either. Verse 11, watch this. Do not venture to be free with them. Do not trust their many words, for by prolonged talk they will test you, and through smiling they will probe you. And that's what be happening. Exactly what happened, right? Mercilessly they will make you a laughing stock and will not refrain from injury or chains. See that? And that's what happened. The injury came. The green light came. Because whatever the circumstance was, the nigga got too comfortable. and he started playing with them people and playing too close to them people, man, that you don't play with, man. I come from the state of Washington, man. And when I was coming up, blacks had a pretty good, we had a pretty good grip on the drug game as far as that goes, of all substances, be it, that powder, be it that crystal, all that, right? Now, I moved to California, I was 12, and I always told myself I would never, and I had enough sense as a teenager who was, moving a little work here and there, boom, boom, things like that. But, when it came to that meth game, I said I would never play with that in Southern California because the Mexicans had too tight of a grip on it. And playing with them can be very detrimental. They have a very strict set of rules, and they're very cutthroat, when it comes to their business and their politics. See what I'm saying? So I knew as a 13, 14, 15, hey, certain games I'm not getting into, these niggas grip on that motherfucker way too tight, and I'm not playing with them. See what I'm saying? Now, being one of them, I couldn't imagine having that same feeling because you one of them. So you feel, but even then, you gotta watch them politics, man. You gotta watch them.
A long time ago, I don't know, a few years ago, people stopped working with Swifty Blue. People did not work with him no more. Podcasters, YouTubers, content creators, rappers, a lot of them distanced themselves from Swifty Blue. Okay? Me, myself included. I had a podcast lined up with Swifty Blue. I don't know, 2022 maybe, 21, no, 22 or 23. Something like, I don't know. And it had to be canceled. I'm not going to say why. I think if you're smart enough, you'll realize why.
Got that motherfucking phone call, nigga.
But it had to be canceled, okay? I think the last one that got an interview with him was American Cholo. And that one was really, the timeline was really like, right? But a lot of people distanced themselves and a lot of people stayed with him. A lot of people knew what was going on back then and decided to say, I heard about what's going on, but I'm going to still continue to be his friend, even though it might hurt me in the long run. But the smart ones said, hell nah, that's what you did? Or that's what they saying about you? I'm going to go this way, dog, because I don't want what you did to rub off on me, right? Now, to this day, there's still people hanging around them. Compa Foco, Cholo Juan, Carlos O, and there's still a few more to name. We've all seen these clips within the last couple of months, still hanging with them. Now, the reason I'm saying the names is because the videos are on social media. They're right there. We've seen them. I've seen them. We've all seen them. And all these people were aware of what was going on. Now you ask yourself, Blue Devil, what was going on? I don't know. I don't remember. But what I can say is that a lot of people are saying, well, they're just jealous of Swifty Blue and they just want to get him because he's a rapper and none of this is his fault. I wish I had the button. You are very incorrect. Okay? 19 people are in prison because of Swifty Blue. And I'll tell you why. His antics, his drama, him trying to be famous and do all this weird shit, got all eyes on him, okay? By the people you don't want looking at you.
Which is them higher ups. And them police, both. Them higher ups and them police, both.
He wrote a check he couldn't cash. What does that mean? That means that he was by the people you don't want looking at you. He wrote a check he couldn't cash. What does that mean? that means that he was out here in the streets acting like he was the guy. Now, maybe.
Now that's serious, and that's just in accordance with bro on the last video. He wrote a check he couldn't cash, not literally about money, but just what he was doing, how he was moving, who he was portraying himself to be, was impossible for him to actually live up to. Making them promises, saying you're gonna do X, Y, and Z for very important individuals in the hierarchy of the organization, and you're gonna run into problems, right? You're gonna run into problems. That's why I say what it say, going back to the verse I read. What it say, exactly what it say.
He didn't cooperate with the federale in the streets, acting like he was the guy. Now, maybe he didn't cooperate with the federales. Maybe he didn't cooperate with the cops, at least not yet. But he's the one that started all this bullshit because of him trying to act and take the formula from 6ix9ine. So once he did that, all lies on Swifty Blue. So people can say what they want to say about this guy, that they're jealous, that they're this, but that's far from the truth. This fool did the whole check-in with me, I'm the number one guy, blah, 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 this and that. Then he went around dissing every fucking Southside rapper, you know. And all these Southside rappers, bro, they're all tied in with their homies, you know, or other people or this or that, allegedly, right? Allegedly. So you dissing a bunch of these dudes, now you're messing with, you know, things you shouldn't mess with, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Then you continue to mock people and create narratives that you're the guy and you're bigger than the program and that ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. And you're doing all this. Meanwhile, you know that there's whispers about you. So they say. So when people be like, it's not his fault, he didn't do anything, you're delusional because you like him. And that's cool. But the facts are the facts. When people act a certain way, people look at you a certain way. And if you belong to a section or you belong to a gang, allegedly, or it's like this, bro. If you work for a business, say you work for a restaurant, and you're out on the internet doing a bunch of stupid shit, most likely that restaurant's gonna be like, hey, bro, we don't want to associate with you, bro, because you're doing all this weird shit, homie, tone it down. And if you continue to act like it's all fun and games and blah, 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 look at me, they're gonna eventually let you go.
All right, let's take a couple more. Let's take a look at some more of what Hater World had to say. I ain't see this one. And this list.
All right. We back with another video reaction. I'm your host, Blue Devil. You guys are on the official Hater World page. And today's clip is brought to you by no other than Nojumper. You got Whack 100 and Adam 22 talking about the guy that got 19 people busted. The guy with the green dot over his head. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Now, look, people can sit here and debate whether this guy, told or this or that, but it all comes down to one thing and one thing only. Your actions, your mouth, the things you said, the things you did, got these people to look at you and then got these people to do what they did, okay? So at the end of the day, it was your actions that caused all this to happen, okay? So there you go. That is who Adam is talking about, Whack is talking about. Now look, this video is pretty old, right? Because this was news about 2 weeks ago, but I think this slipped with a 15-second clip, and I was like, oh, this is worthy of a reaction, okay? Now, I don't know how much I'm gonna react to it, but I will watch it. Before we press play on the video, before we start the clip, I want to salute the squad everybody that subscribed, everybody that, damn, that's fire. Don't like me, that's cool. All right, so we expanding to bigger and better horizons. So oh hey, you pick the one you want, right? And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video, bro. Wack reacts to SB being green something by the something 19 charged. It's sort of wild ass headline, homie. You know what's so wild about it? That when I used to be outside, like outside, you still wouldn't even talk about this kind of shit outside. Unless you had a homie that was really politicking and like would pull up and talk about this type of shit. You know, I know I had a homie that would pull up here and always talk about shit like that, and I'd be like, fool, stop. Lord, please, I don't know who these names are. And he would just go like, hey, fool, this guy and 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 this guy. I'd be like, God damn, fool, please. I love you, my boy, but I don't want to hear about that shit. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to pay attention. Don't tell me anything. That was recent, but back in the day, you wouldn't even mention these type of people. So for these two and for all this to be media and to be topics and reactions, it's fucking crazy, bro. It is crazy. And what's more crazy is the people that have input that would never in their life dare have input in the past, right? And I'm like, this goes ask me, one there, blah blah blah, and I'm like, don't you rep the flag or that flag? Don't you say I'm this and I'm that and I'm from here and whoop-de-whoop? So why is you not respecting the program? Like, if this is what it is and they told you this is what it is, you fall in line, homie. Because if you don't fall in line, then you become lunch or and that's cool if you're cool with that type of like that guy, right? Because there's, bro, believe me, there's hundreds of fools out here running around that are. Let's watch. I did too much talking, bro. Let's watch the clip.
Our boy Swifty Blue. We now know that he survived not only an attack on his life while he was locked up, but he's still apparently greenlit by a certain authoritative Mexican organization.
Listen, when I seen the story, I said, well, what turned the light off?
No, from what I understand, that light doesn't just go out.
No,
Yeah, that light just don't go out.
don't. That's what I'm saying. What turned that off if that's the case? Because they started talking about this other dude, money, I don't know, money sign. I
Swayed, because when they were speaking on the phone about Swifty Blue, they basically were referencing Money Sign Swayed by saying do them like they did Swayed over the phone from jail, which is now being used.
And
it
was crazy. I caught a lot of flack because somebody asked me on Clubhouse about the dude. Yo, man, this dude, and where he was at.
I want to say this in Wack's defense as well, not that he's on trial right here, but this is why he said he didn't want to do business with Southsiders. Because of this shit.
In prison. And I was like, shit, what he do? He must have did something. They got mad at me.
I remember.
That's not what you said though, dog. That's not what you said though, dog. But it doesn't matter. Listen, fool, people need to understand this. Even with Sway, he's talented, bro, and his nephew is rapping right now. It's fire. And respect to the young man, right? We don't want to see nobody gone. But when you fly under a flag, bro, if the flag says it's a no-go, it's a no-go.
The call is the motherfucking call.
And you respect it. And you respect it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? And I'm not talking about me at all. I'm just talking about to the people that are out there that should know better. If the flag says it's a no-go, you respect it. That's it. You know? Let's go.
Right?
Very well. He wasn't an actual gang member, apparently. And Money Sign
All these narratives, I'm gonna just say right now, are allegedly. Okay, remember, Adam 22 does not know what's going on. WAG does not know what's going on. They can act like they know all money and they didn't want to pay. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know either. But I can guarantee you that's not the problem. That's the first thing everybody runs to, because people automatically put two and two together, like, oh, this happened to them, it must have been because they wanted money. No, it could be many things, bro. And I'm only speaking common sense. I'm not speaking from facts. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. I'm just speaking from common sense. It could be many things, bro. It could be he disrespected someone. It could be he said the wrong thing. It could have been he done the wrong thing. It could have been this. It could have been that.
Especially in the California area.
It said he got stabbed, right?
At one point, they made an attempt on his life, and it didn't work.
Or in LA County?
I'm not 100% sure, but probably. Which I always took as a sign, don't fuck with Swifty Blue, because we're going to do something to establish. Grill marched around with him, had a good old time, made a pretty good vlog, classic vlog if you ask me. And then that night, the restaurant that we went to, Fatima's Grill, was firebombed, which I always took as a sign, don't fuck with Swifty Blue, because we're going to do something to establish.
It's crazy because that vlog they did at Fatima's Grill, that shit looks so fire. I want some Fatima's Grill so motherfucking bad. I really promise you, really wanted to go to that motherfucker, which I think they have multiple. I know that was a couple years back. I definitely want to hit that motherfucker Fatima's. That shit look next level.
Establishment. And to be honest, I had other people tell me that it was such, that if Swifty Blue became a regular host on No Jumper, that we would be treated as if we were him, and that our...
Hey, do you guys remember a podcast that Brick Baby did with Adam, and it was around the same time as the vlog? Remember, Brick Baby said it.
Because Brick Baby was there at the vlog.
He said it clearly in that video. He said, people were texting me, telling me that SB was no good and that he was this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, he walking around his hood, so they lying. Don't you guys recall that shit? I wish I had the clip. But he said it clearly. That was a year ago. Nobody listened. Everybody still was like, man, that can't be true. It's crazy how much info Adam got.